eau de toilette or eau de parfum? What is the difference and why should you care? Hello, my name is Ellison, and on this channel I do perfume reviews, and I also just like to talk all things perfume. I love to talk about perfume, I love educating about perfume, and I love helping you find the perfect perfume to add to your collection. So if that is something that you are interested in, then I would highly suggest hitting that subscribe button down below just to stay in the loop with my future uploads. We've all seen the bottles on the shelf where some of them are eau de toilette and some of them are eau de parfum. What is the difference? Why do they have these different categorizations, and why is one so much more expensive than the other? I think it's really easy to find yourself saying, you know what, I'll just purchase this one because it's a lot cheaper than this one, but you're also sort of unsure because you're thinking, that one's so much more expensive, I'm automatically going to think maybe it's a higher quality, maybe I should be investing in that, maybe I should be putting my money more towards that than just basically wasting my money on something that's not going to last me as long. There is a significant difference that I think you should be aware of, just so that way as you're investing in your perfume collection, as you're adding to your fragrances, you know precisely what it is that you are wanting to invest your money in, and just to make sure you're not wasting your money on something that you don't want to waste your money on. So the main difference between an eau de toilette and an eau de parfum is the concentration. Now, what do I mean by the concentration? So, when a perfumer creates and develops a new fragrance, basically what they do is they put in all of their fragrance oils, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of orange blossom, a little bit of cinnamon. I have no idea what that would smell like. But as they are designing the fragrance, they are creating a very potent concentration, okay? So it is a fragrance concentrate, and it is only fragrance oils. The product that you are getting, to spray on your body and everything like that, has alcohol added into that. So they've created this concentrate, they've basically distributed it throughout their bottles, and then they add a certain amount of alcohol. So with an eau de toilette, you have a 5 to 15% concentration. Okay, so somewhere within that range, which basically means that, if it's 5% concentrate, then it's 95% alcohol. If it's 15% concentrate, well, then you have 85% alcohol. An eau de parfum, on the other hand, is 15 to 20% concentration, which means that, it's a 20% concentrate, this is 20% oils, it is 80% alcohol. Now, the higher concentration you have, the stronger your fragrance is. And that concentration, it really impacts a number of different things. Number one, it impacts your wear time, okay? When you have an eau de parfum with a concentration of 20%, that's gonna last you a lot longer than an eau de toilette that has 5%, just because there's a lot more oils, there's a lot more fragrance going onto your skin, and that your skin is soaking up and taking on. And the concentration also really heavily impacts the intensity. When you have more fragrance oils per spray, when you have that higher concentration of oils, you're going to get a much more expressive, a much more fragrant, a much more intense fragrance from the get-go. Whereas when you have an eau de toilette, what you're going to get is a little bit more of a subtle fragrance. It's going to be a little bit subtler, it's going to be a little bit more pared back, more of I have a hint of fragrance on kind of feel. That's why a lot of times what you see people doing is, during the summer, I'm wearing body sprays and eau de toilettes. They're very light, they're very fresh, they're very subtle. But in the fall and the winter, in those colder months, I'm going to use my heavy perfumes because, you know what? It's just sort of this feeling of I can wear more. Okay, it's almost like putting on more clothes that you can wear a heavier perfume. Now, there's also a difference in wear time. Like I said, an eau de parfum generally lasts a lot longer than an eau de toilette on the skin. So an eau de toilette will last you about 4 to 7 hours, give or take. I would have to say that's probably more, in my experience, with the majority of the eau de toilettes that I've had. I'm looking more at 3 to 5 hours, if I'm really honest. Whereas with an eau de parfum, you can get 6 to 8 hours out of these fragrances, okay? Just because the concentration is so potent, okay? It is so high. So what does this mean? How can this be saving you money? How can this be a better investment for you? Well, what I would have to say is that generally when you are purchasing an eau de toilette versus an eau de parfum, you are getting about the same amount of product, okay? You're getting about the same amount of product, whichever one you're purchasing. You might be paying less for the eau de toilette, but what I would have to say, what I would suggest for you or sort of get you to think more about is that if the eau de toilette is going to last a shorter amount of time, and it is not as intense, not as powerful of a fragrance, what you are going to run into, what you will start finding yourself doing is applying more, okay? You might apply more from the get-go, okay? So instead of just the 4 spritzes that you do on the hot spots of your body, you might douse yourself in your perfume so that way you get a stronger fragrance. And not only will you start your day dousing yourself in your fragrance, but you might re-douse yourself at mid-afternoon or after work when you have something else that you're going to, in an evening event that you're going to attend. So you are double dousing. Double dousing gets you in trouble real quick. What that will do is you're going to go through your product a lot faster, okay? And if you love the perfume, then you'll find yourself repurchasing over and over and over again, paying more and paying more and paying more. Now, the difference between that and an eau de parfum is that you will find yourself using less eau de parfum. So, sure, there might be a, let's say, $75 difference between the eau de toilette and the eau de parfum. But what you're going to find yourself doing is, okay, you know what? Instead of the 10 sprays of eau de toilette that I put on, I can do 4 sprays of the eau de parfum. And instead of double dousing, which equals 20 sprays, we're going to say, I only needed those 4 sprays in the morning with this eau de parfum. Okay, so we have 20 sprays of double dousing or 4 for all day wear. So what you're going to find yourself doing is you're going to use a lot less product when you purchase an eau de parfum. It is more expensive from the get-go, okay? Right out of the gate, it is a pricier product, but you are going to have to purchase it far less. It's going to last you a lot longer, especially if you use the tip that I talked about in this video right here. I'll link it right here, where I basically tell you the exact thing that you are doing wrong that is cutting your wear time, your perfume wear time in half. Definitely check that out because that is a game changer when it comes to making your perfume last a lot longer. But when you use your eau de parfum, you're just going to use a lot less of it and you're not going to have to repurchase it nearly as often. So those are just some things to keep in mind. Obviously, if you just love a fragrance and you're like, but I can't shuck out $100, I can definitely pay $25. Pay $25. It's whatever. Don't freak out about it. But if you're ready to invest, if you're ready to say, you know what, I'm ready to invest this money. I'm ready to put money into this perfume and I know it's going to last me a long time, then I would definitely opt for the perfume, the eau de parfum, over the toilette. Now, I would have to say that there is a couple of things to keep in mind. If there are certain fragrance notes that you are very familiar with and that you know what? Those just last on my skin so good, right? Like, it doesn't matter what concentration it is, that fragrance lasts forever. For me, I know that amber is gonna last on me all day. Amber, like, no joke, it doesn't matter how much of an amber perfume I put on, amber is going to stay on me all day. So what that means is that I can go and I can buy a body spray or an eau de toilette that has amber in it, and it's going to last just as long as an eau de parfum because those oils really latch onto my skin and really jive super well with my personal fragrance. So if there are fragrances that you're like, you know what, I know that it doesn't matter in what form this fragrance comes in, it doesn't matter what form this fragrance note comes in, it's going to last on me, then perhaps you'll want to try the eau de toilette first, just to see if, you know what, yeah, I can get away with 4 spritzes of the eau de toilette, and it's going to last just as long as some of my nicest perfumes, just because this has all of the fragrance notes that just really jive with my personal fragrance and that really last a long time on my skin. So if you know that, then I would definitely look into doing the eau de toilettes. But from surface level, parfums are definitely the investment piece, and they are definitely the ones that are going to last longer. I hope this was helpful for you. I could talk all day about perfumes, and I feel like every concept just leads me to another concept. So if there are more things that you would like to learn about when it comes to perfume, making your perfume last, what you should be purchasing, if you have any questions like that, drop them in the comment section down below, because I love talking about perfume. I love experimenting, I love playing, I love just getting into the weeds and researching and playing with perfume. So if you have any questions, or if you have a video that you would like to see me make for you, then definitely let me know in the comments down below. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and again, make sure you subscribe just to stay in the loop with my future uploads. I love you oh so very much, and until we meet again, so long.